morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Inside Scoop. Again, I'd like to welcome my guests here this evening. Got my usual co-host here, my new co-host. I got Joey with us. Hi, Joey.
Hello.
And as you can see on stage again, coming back for another show, the old host of our show, making his triumphant return, helping us all a little bit here and giving us his input. That's Steve. Say hi, Steve.
Oh, hello.
He's like he's never done this before.
I'm thinking about food again. My bad.
Don't go into food. Don't go into food. Joey, I know we have a kind of a list. I want to get to it kind of quick today, so put your spectacles on and read that list up quick.
Which list?
The birthdays first.
Okay. First, we got Ricky Morton for September 21st. He's 67.
Remember Rock and Roll Express?
Yes.
Sonia Deville, September 24th.
Yes.
30. Stephanie McMahon Levesque, September 24th, 47.
I can't believe he's 47 already. I really can't.
Well, she's a year older than me. Actually, I turned 47 in December, so she's...
I remember when she was 17, when she made her first appearance in WWE. She got strapped to that thing but The Undertaker.
Did you ever see the pictures of her and Andre the Giant back when she was a little girl?
Yes. She loved Andre.
Yes,
She'll
she
tell you
did.
that personally.
She did.
Oscar, September 26th, 42.
Yes.
Steve Blackman, September 28th, 60.
I saw it on Facebook.
Tajiri, September 29th, 53.
I can't believe Jerry's 53.
Same age as me. Skandor Akbar, September 29th.
Yep.
Cameron Grimes, current WWE star, September 30th, 30. Candice Michelle, September 30th, 45. Kurt Angle's TV son, Jason Jordan, September 28th, 35.
Who I heard is coming back to WWE soon. He's coming back as a wrestler, or he's working somehow with the company.
Johnny Gargano's wife, Candice Lee Ray, September 29th, 38. Yokozuna.
Yokozuna.
October
Rodney
2nd. Demolition Smash.
Barry Dasso, who I've met in person. I think Steve has too.
Yes.
We got two wrestlers here that share my dad's birthday. October 6th, 64. Bruno Sammartino, October 6th. Rhino, October 7th, 48. Former WWE diva Caitlyn, October 7th, 37. Aiden English, Eddie Guerrero's brother and son-in-law, October 7th, 36. Shut up, Miz, October 8th, 43.
Mike Mizanin.
Stevie Richards, October 9th, 52.
Who I've met.
Speaking of Aiden English's father-in-law, Eddie Guerrero, October 9th. Mrs. former tag partner John Morrison, October 3rd, 44. And Jake the Snake Roberts' sister, Rockin' Robin, October 9th, 59.
That's his sister?
Yes, Rockin' Robin, that's his sister.
Okay.
Mentioned a couple others. My dad's would have been October 15th of 1923. He would have been 100 years old if he was alive. He's passed now.
That would have been awesome.
And my brother, Paul, my oldest brother, October 10th. He was also his son. My nephew, his son, was also born October 10th. And their wedding anniversary is October 10th. He plans everything. Crazy. To go back to deaths very quickly, we'll go segue into another birthday. Quiet. My grandpa's death was October 1st, 1977, when he was 79. Now his birth date was October 2nd, 1898. So I'm going to that. I think that's a good way, Joe, if you just take over and mention your list of deaths. Mention one you did not have in your list. That was Russ Francis.
Actually, I got 3 birthdays to mention from last week. Steve's sister-in-law, October 4th.
Oh, yeah, Jamie's. Yes, you're right. He saw it on Facebook. Duh.
And my dad's was the 6th. He would have been 79. And the 7th which was the day of the pay-per-view, was my niece's birthday.
Okay. Well, the name I was mentioning before was Russ Francis, ex-New England Patriot tight end, member of their Hall of Fame, one of the most underrated tight ends in football history. He died in a plane crash at 70. I don't know if Steve had heard about that. I mentioned that to him yesterday.
Yeah,
when I was speaking
I read
to him.
about it.
Now go ahead with your list, Joe.
Okay, first, the man from U.N.C.L.E. and NCIS star, David McCallum.
I remember the character, I believe.
He was the
Yep.
Emmy.
No, I must try to hire you up, and we have a big, busy show today.
Major League Baseball legend Brooks Robinson.
Yeah, maybe the best third baseman ever.
Harry Potter star Michael Gambon.
Yes, Professor Dumbledore himself.
And he played Christina Ricci's father on the movie Sleepy Hollow. Red Sox legend and Hall of Famer Tim Wakefield.
Yeah, that was sad, and that was sad a few weeks ago. Tim Wakefield did a lot in the community for charity work. An awful lot in this area for charity work in Massachusetts.
He was only 57.
I know, my age.
And lastly, NFL legend and actor Dick Butkus.
Dick Butkus, yes, maybe one of the meanest football players to ever put on cleats. They say off the field, one of the nicest guys. When he went on the field, he became a possessed maniac. Tough man, very tough man. Well, rest in peace to all folks who passed away, and happy birthday to all. Like I said, it's with my grandfather. It's all within a couple of days. He died the day before his birthday, so. My grandpa, by the way, would have been 125.
Wow.
If he was alive, so it never happened. Facetious. Yeah. Let me quickly mention some of our independent shows coming up, if I may. Bear with me, because I can't see with my sunglasses on. I don't need the glasses. This Saturday, tonight, folks, Proving Grounds in Beverly, Mass. At the Lodge of Elks. 39 Bow Street in Beverly. I'm not sure the cost of those tickets. They vary, man, what you're getting. It's different packages. October 15th, which is this Sunday, the Westport High School. That's a pro wrestling show, which is Teddy Goods' show. That's going to be at Westport High School at 400 Old County Road in Westport. That's from 5 to 7. Bell time's 5 o'clock. I believe it's $20 for tickets for that at the door. Steve mentioned to me November 10th. Again, pro wrestling Teddy Goods' show is going to be in Brockton on Quincy Avenue, North Quincy Avenue, in Brockton. I think I believe it's the VFW up there too. Always a good card up there. Always a good show. Teddy always puts a great show on. Check out some of those shows. He really hasn't named his company yet, but he's called himself Pro Wrestling. NRG, National Ring Gladiators, is going to be Friday, October 27th at the VFW Post in Fairhaven on 109 Middle Street. That's a 7 p.m. show. It's $10. Ringside seats are $15. I'm not sure how many ringside seats he might have left. They often sell out quick. Friday, December 1st, NCW WrestleFest. I think it's 18. It's going to be at the VFW Post in Dedham on Eastern Avenue. It's $15 for general admission and $20 for VIP seats. VIP means I think they give you a traveling bag or a couple slices of pizza in a pitcher. Couple slices, Steve.
Oh, man.
Not a whole pizza.
Here we go.
October 28th, a couple of shows. October 28th, RWA's Devil's Night. It's at the Johnston Rec Center, 1741 Atwood Ave, Johnston. It's 7 p.m. start. It's $10 for those seats. I believe ringside's already been sold out. I know I'll be sitting ringside at that show. I already have my ticket. Saturday, October 28th, NWWE National New England Extreme Wrestling Alliance. It's Strange Happenings. It's $20 for seats. I believe it's $20 in advance, $25 at the door. That's at Natick's Elks at 95 Spleen Street, Natick. If you folks don't know these, go on to one of the sites. Say, pick RWA. And usually there's a capsule, it'll give you a list of all the other shows that are in the area. All good local wrestling, all under $25, $30. Great wrestling, great shows. That's why I've been supporting them for years. Like I said, I know I read these kind of quickly, but it's a fun time to have. Had by all, and all these guys are going on to bigger and better things. We've all seen Teddy Goods on SmackDown recently, sometime last year. Ibar, who's been wrestling right now in WWE, local. I've mentioned this before. Todd Smith, Christian Casanova just lost the NXT Championship, local. Christian Casanova has been those Carmelo Anthony in WWE NXT, local kid. That's moved on. I've seen Christian Casanova when he was just starting out. Same as Ibar. I've known Todd Smith for almost 20 years. Really nice kid. Well, another reason why I wanted to hurry up on this show. Last show we started it. Wake up, Joe. He's taking a nap already. Last time we came on our show, we started briefly speaking to Steve. Steve looks like he's lost tonight. Is it just me?
I'm thinking about food. Never mind.
Here we go.
Oh, God, here he goes again. I'm going to slap you with a meatball.
Is this why you brought him on the show?
No. I mean, look at the way he's lost. How can he think about... That's my way he's thinking about food. He hasn't been eating as much lately. Steve, last time, let's go over what we said last time. You got into wrestling, you've been training, you were trained to be a wrestler, you were trained by, I know you mentioned Sandy Starr and a couple other folks.
Yeah.
But what made you get into wrestling? What coached you to get into it?
Quite a few things. First, being a die-hard wrestling fan. Secondly, few announcements were made at independent shows where they announced you could train to become a wrestler. That got me thinking. But I also want to thank my father, believe it or not. He's the one who got me into wrestling. I was never into wrestling as a kid until coming home on a Saturday late morning. My father will have wrestling on the TV, and I got interested into it. My first feud on TV that I watched was that of Andre the Giant against King Kong Bundy, not King Kong Bundy, Big John Studd. And I don't know if you guys remember when Big John Studd cut Andre's hair.
Yep,
oh, yeah.
I watched it live when it happened.
One of the first matches that I've seen on TV, and I got hooked right away into that storyline. And from that match on, year after year, I was glued to the TV watching wrestling, so I wanted to be part of it. So that's the reason. I
know one time you were working for Joe Eugenio. I mentioned one of our local promoters at one time who has a great auction going on, Joe Southeast Auctions. So maybe a free plug there for Joe. And you were refereeing for him for a while.
Yes.
You got in the refereeing. Then you did the Attleboro, who we've all seen right here on Attleboro AACS, the backyard wrestling. How long did you do that for?
Quite a long time. From 1997, it was March of 97 until I say about 2012. So
almost 15 years you were doing that.
Yes.
Did that a lot. I know you taped a lot of times. That's where you met the Intimidator. A little side note: I've heard rumors. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard Intimidator is retiring from the business, from outright. He's retiring from doing his tombstones and doing his.
I haven't seen him in a while.
His caskets. He's not doing well. I guess he has problems with his back. All the years of wrestling.
Joey, you gotta hurt their Intimidator's back.
I didn't touch him.
Oh boy.
Oof.
I never had a match with him. Thank God for that.
Don't let me tell him that, because he'll advise me to crack you with the bat. Tell me to.
Last time I saw the Intimidator was my last taping.
Yes,
here
taping here.
as
Yes.
Host.
Yep. Well,
That was when he threw you off the stage.
that's when we both threw him off the stage as host and told him to get out of here. That was actually planned. That was fun. That was a fun night. Now, I think we've discussed this before, Steve, but I mentioned this to Greg when he was on. If you could pick a person locally that maybe, I don't know if these folks might know or not, and you just mentioned the name, a wrestler you could wrestle, who would it be?
No, independent.
Independent.
Wrestler? Okay.
That's a tough one because there's a lot of great wrestlers out there.
There's a lot of great wrestlers out there, and I would say Brandon Webb, because he has a gimmick that I like.
Yep, I have a Devil's Reject.
Right.
Brandon himself, I know, is semi-retired. He doesn't wrestle much anymore.
He's retired, but if he was to want to come back to wrestle one match, I wouldn't mind wrestling him.
Another guy who's retired that's local, you probably remember, Judge Logan Chambers. Is temporarily hung up his boots. He hopes to come back to wrestling, but he's...
I believe I saw him wrestle at the House of Bricks.
Oh, yeah.
Wrestling.
Yes, he worked for House of Bricks regularly. He worked the RWA regularly, too, but he had another character he brought out in the last few years called JT Liftington. He was kind of a face, and a funny face, but he's temporarily, he says he's retiring from wrestling, but he may come back. He says he just needs some time off from it. Been doing it for over 20 years, and he needs a break. So you would want to wrestle Brandon Webb. It's good because it's, a guy who's trained. I'm not sure who trained. I think I'm not, but homie does. I think Mike Baker had some training with Brandon Webb, but not all of it. He had a couple of people train him. So good worker, nice kid. I've known Brandon for years. Got a lot of his T-shirts. Local wrestlers, again, you see them. Who can you see as a local wrestler right now who's working on the indie circuit that you could see possibly move into the big leagues? Other than Teddy Goods, who's already there.
I was about to say Teddy
Other than Little Mean Kathleen, who's already there.
Oh, really? I did not know that. Not to interrupt, I never knew she...
She's working AEW dark matches with Teddy Goods.
Okay.
So is...
Matter of fact, she's my youngest niece's favorite wrestler.
Yes, we mentioned that.
Yeah.
Your niece Natalie, Emily's sister. Local
Emily,
girl. She's from Taunton, Mass.
Again,
Go ahead.
Emily's going to kill me when I say this.
Sorry, Emily will kill you anyway.
I think her favorite indie wrestler is TJ Powers. He wrestles for Teddy Good's Super Show.
Okay, I don't know.
And he's a local guy from, I believe, well, he's billed as coming from Bridgewater. But every time I go to Teddy Good's Wrestling, during intermission, they have the guys at their tables signing autographs, taking pictures, selling merchandise.
TJ, how come I don't know him? The name TJ Powers. Maybe I know him by a different name.
Goes straight to that table with a big smile.
Uh-oh.
Me personally, I think it's a crush that she has on him. And he's a youngster. I think he's only like 18 or 19 years old, and Emily's 15.
I'm surprised she doesn't like Isaac. Isaac Knox, too.
Years behind, but
I'm surprised you've seen Isaac Knox. Isaac just turned 19.
I don't know if you've seen the pictures that I got her of signed pictures of TJ.
Okay, I think I remember you talking about. We saw him once at the.
Have you?
I don't think I
Top
have.
Rope
She
show.
has them hanging up on the wall. So I think that's her favorite wrestler. Okay, I apologize for interrupting.
One of my, if I had to pick a local wrestler, if I was to ever wrestle, it's so I get out of respect, and he was on this show, Mike Baker.
Oh, yeah,
Mike Baker was a great wrestler. To teach me so much about wrestling. He might be the only, for the few in this area who I respect, who knows more about the business than I ever will. Mike Baker would be a great wrestling match because he's a great heel.
Yes. Was he ever a face?
Nope.
No.
Didn't like to be a face.
I remember the first time I seen him wrestle, he wrestled for Yankee Pro Wrestling. Going back to, I believe it was 1997 or 1998. It was one of them 2 years. They had a show, I believe at North Attleboro. It was either North Attleboro High School or Gymnasium, or it was at, now I can't remember the location. It might have been in Rentham at the King Philip High School. One of them high schools, they had a show.
Okay.
And I, of course, was booing him as he was making his way to the ring. I, at the time, was a teenager. I had a goatee, like about 3 inches long. He got on the microphone and he told me to sit down and be quiet before he rips my goatee off my face. And I looked.
That was Mike.
I don't know if you were with me. It
I
was
don't
me
think
and
so.
my brother Jason was with me and a couple other guys. I'm not sure you weren't with us.
I think so.
But I looked at my brother Jay. I go, "Wow, is this guy serious?" That's how realistic he sounded, and I applaud him and many others for making it look so realistic. Their promos.
If I had to pick somebody, I'd probably pick Mike Baker. If I could have a wrestling match against somebody. Because there's tons of great wrestlers out here. A lot of good athletes. Kids who might make it right now in local independence who could make it onto the big time, I think AJP is as good as you're going to get. I don't know if you've seen him wrestle too many
I've
times.
seen him wrestle once.
Austin Phoenix. I know his real name, but his dad, Big Daddy T owns RWA, former RWA champion a couple times, tag champion a couple times.
I think
Really good. He looks a lot like AJ Styles. A lot like AJ Styles.
Another guy. I got another answer for you for a question you asked about who I think has the potential to wrestle big leagues is Osiris.
Osiris is great. I've spoken to Osiris. Matter of fact, I hope at some time, maybe in the future, because I do have his home phone number to get Osiris. I don't want to give out his real name unless he wants to give it out in the show here. Have him on the show as a guest. He is a great athlete, but he's not getting the push he deserves because I believe his partner still works for, on occasion, for Showcase, but that's all he works for. Ronnie Ribs. They were a great tag team. The Fellowship, you've worn their shirt several times on the show. I know you have.
Yes.
Great worker, excellent, one of the better, great shape, amazing shape. Another kid who's local, who's doing really good. A little bit small, but he's a good worker. Ichiban.
Okay.
He's a guy that JT Dunn's already doing big matches with some name wrestlers over for the years now. He's been doing a lot of wrestlers. He wrestled. I remember him wrestling Austin Aries once, XWA. Yeah. He also wrestled Tommaso Ciampa once. JT Dunn's a great local athlete. Has his own. I think he does training along with Vinny Marseglia and Matt Taven. Because Matt's now working for AEW, and so is Vinny Marseglia. I guess Vinny Marseglia gave up his contract at NXT, never went to it, and went to AEW.
Wow.
I heard rumors he signed with NXT and never happened. I don't know what happened there. You might remember Vinny from Vincent from ROH. That's who Vinny Marseglia is. I've known Vinny since he was a rookie for NECW. Some of the promoters out there. I mean, I'm going to mention their names. I just mentioned one, T. Phoenix, been wrestling himself for over 20 years.
Now, another pick. My pick is Don Vega, the Puerto Rican.
Don Vega is the Punisher. Don Vega works for. He's a trainer now for Showcase Pro Wrestling. He was at one time the partner with Jose Perez for XWA, who's now retired. They were the freaking Ricans. They were too tough. You talk about two established, tough wrestlers. They were two tough guys.
Don Vega made did a few dark matches for WWE in the past, but also he also played one of the security.
Yes, he has.
I think during SmackDown, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, he was.
So he made appearances on WWE in the past.
Yes, excellent local, one of the better veterans in our area. But some of the other local wrestlers, I mean, female-wise, some of the wrestlers, again, we already mentioned her name, Little Mean Kathleen. I can see her going on in wrestling. She's a local girl. She's from Taunton, Taunton, Mass. Trained by the late, great Nick Steele. Remember Nick Steele? Same person who trained Alicia Edwards, a.k.a. Lexus Nevaeh, Lexus. Eddie Edwards' his wife, who works for Impact now, is trained by Nick Steele. I could see her going on. Elle Valentine, of course, another girl who's at the end of her career now is Ariel. She's at the end of her career pretty much now. And I can't think of her name. Nikki Valentine's toward the end of her career, but she's making a slight comeback too to wrestling. I know their real names, so I'm trying not to use their real name. I'd like to have seen them move on. I want to see Kathy Belmont move on, Mistress Belmont, Widow Belmont, who she goes by now. But she's getting to the point where she's getting too old to go into WWE. Another local wrestler who's fantastic, unbelievable athlete. Sasha Banks was also, people don't realize, Mercedes was trained by Brian Fury from this area.
Oh, yeah, I remember you told me that before. Now, WWE recently, I know we're talking about independence, I'm sorry for jumping.
No, we're just jumping around, it's okay.
CM Punk, I heard, got signed by WWE recently. Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I saw something on Facebook that they decided not to take him.
Oh, really?
I saw it on Facebook.
There was rumors spreading that at the Royal Rumble this year, the female one, that AJ Lee's coming back for it. That's why she's kind of off while wrestling right now. She's trying to have her make a comeback to be a guest on the Female Royal Rumble this year. That'd be kind of interesting, kind of fun.
Yeah, last night when I was talking to you, Bubba, on the phone, you
almost called me Butch.
I apologize. When
I'm
I was
not
talking
Butch.
to you on the phone
I'm not
last
that
night,
good.
Bubba, you mentioned a few releases. from
Yes,
the
you must have
WWE.
read my mind. There's other people. Oh, other people we didn't mention are deaths. I'm sorry to go back to it, folks. The Red Sox and right now, and the Patriots offense. That's dead too.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
3 points in 3 points in 2 games. That's all we're going to talk about for the Red Sox and Patriots right now. I heard something in the news the other day, but by Sunday the Bruins will have more wins than the Patriots.
Yeah, a lot of people
Who's that tonight?
were betting what was going to come first, a snowstorm or a Patriots win. Patriots got their first win
Against the Jets, yeah, and they barely squeaked that one out.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a better team than that, but I don't want to go into Patriots talk because it irritates me.
Yeah.
To go back to the wrestling, now, who are you glad is kind of getting the pushes in WWE? You see probably more WWE more than anybody else.
I am glad Cody Rhodes is getting the push. Well, him and Jey Uso just recently won the Undisputed Tag Team Championships.
Yes.
I'm glad they're getting pushed. I'm a fan of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Even though they lost to the new tag champs on Monday night. I'm glad to see
LA Knight getting the push. He's been around for
him too.
years.
I'm glad. I think he's doing pretty well.
Eli Drake became, he had that Mad Max thing, whatever, I don't know what we called themselves, that model thing he was doing. And he just dumped that whole character, which is good.
Yeah. And here's a question for you. How do you like Drew McIntyre's new storyline where he doesn't come out to help guys when they're getting
Well, I think
attacked?
I read today that Drew McIntyre is rumored to be going on to Judgment Day because he's going to be turning heel shortly.
Oh,
That would
okay.
make an interesting add to Judgment Day, I believe, Drew McIntyre.
I'm glad what he did though Monday night when he stopped
Let's
Dum
mention.
Dum from
Yep.
going into the ring with their.
Let's mention quickly who got released by WWE. I'm sure you folks all know this. Rick Boogs, Dolph Ziggler, Shelton Benjamin, Mustafa Ali, and Riddle got released by WWE. Oh, and who was there was a female release too. I think.
Emma?
Was Emma released?
Yeah, I think it was another female they released, but I can't remember who it was.
Yeah. Well, I can't believe this half hour's gone by as quickly again. I'd like to thank Double ACS for having our show. Steve for coming back on and finishing our story.
I eat dinner longer.
I want to thank our director for having us. I want to thank Joe for being my co-host.
It's like it's time for dinner.
Folks, have a good week. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Enjoy some of your shows. Thank you.